Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone again. My name is Grace Amponsa. I'm the program's coordinator for the Education Collaborative. Most of you already know me. And today's session, we themed it the ECoP virtual coffee party. It's for us to engage, to learn more about each other in the ECoP, and also to learn about the opportunities that are available. I'm really grateful to have Mr. Alexis Ayamdo from Bogatanga Technical University, who is the who leads industrial liaison activities at BTU. He will introduce himself, but he's a very active member of the Employability Community of Practice, and we are really grateful that he's able to lead today's session. So, Alexis, handing over to you now to take us through today's session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grace, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of us, wherever you are connecting from. As Grace indicated, my name is Alexis Ayamdo. I am leading the Industrial Liaison Office of Bogatanga Technical University in Ghana, in the extreme north of Ghana, sharing boundary with Burkina Faso. I believe Aisata is on board, from Burkina Faso. And so you're all welcome once again. And as Grace indicated, this is more of an informal, discussions, a platform for us to connect once again. The year is coming to an end. A platform again for us to deepen our collaborations, our friendship, so that come next year, we would be more than the word poised, to take up the collaboration and the partnership to a new level. And so, as the team suggests, or a coffee party, a lot of the things that we're going to do here is going to be more of informal. And so, let me just take an opportunity to say that, though informal, we have some guiding agenda for all of us to follow so that we can use the time that we have at our disposal. So shortly after this, we may want to do a short icebreaker, just to get ourselves, whip into the party. And then that will take us from there, take us some 10 minutes. And then after that, we would break into some groups to do a reflection, of a few things, regarding our collaboration, our connections, and how to get to know ourselves better, because we would surely need to know ourselves better in order to collaborate well. And after that, we'll come back to, if you like, say plenary, where we will do a deeper, share some of the reflections that we have, all done at our individual groups, rooms. And then after that, you had an opportunity to receive the quarterly reports of last quarter. And so Madam Patricia, the Career and Placement Officer of USIU Africa, would take an opportunity to share these reports with us. And then we can discuss the reports. If there are issues that we need to take forward, for the next, quarter, then we could do that. Then the last bit of it is we'll give an opportunity to Grace, or Education Collaborative Secretariat, to share with us some opportunities, that are available for us, as a community. And probably if anybody else also has additional opportunity that you want members to also know, you could take an opportunity to do that. Then we would have a group picture. And like Grace indicated earlier on, I believe all of us, we have our cups and our tea or our coffee. Or in my case, I have what we call a sobolo, because this is my sobolo, okay, which is locally prepared, So I am ready to zip my Sobolo. I'm not used to the coffee, so I will continue to take my Sobolo, alongside. So on that note, I say welcome once again and cheers to everybody. If you have your cup, let's raise it and say cheers for now whilst we begin. Yes, so thanks everybody. Yeah, and those of you who have, yeah, exactly, sure, cheers. All right, cheers. Yes, I can see that. Good. So on that note, I would invite Grace. We'll begin with some two pool questions. That will be posted on the chat, and then, or it will come. Yeah, it is already on, and then we take some few minutes, less than 5 minutes to complete this, and then we'll get back and discuss. So we can go ahead for now. Okay, so let's, Grace, will you be so kind to share the results with us?
Can you see the results on your screen?
Yes, okay, yes. So I can see now, good. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first question talks about how many members have you closely interacted with since joining the ECoP. And we have the least 11% says 10 and above. So 11% of us, of the respondents, responded that they have done that with 10 institutions or whatever and above. Then between 5 and 10 also recorded 11%. And then the next one was none, 32% recorded none. And then the highest had to do with 1 to 5 institutions, recorded 46%. So it means that by and large, these are the reflections, as far as participants, views, are concerned. I would suggest that we have one or two to talk about a few of these, results, based on your own your responses. For instance, we have none, 32%. That's quite a high side, indicating that they have not, interacted, with any since joining the ECoP. Who would want to say a few words about this? Why haven't we? Doluka, can you? Or Bernard is on. Okay, Doluka, yes.
Yes, I selected none because this is my first time of engagement with ECoP.
Okay, good. Yes, who else? Just unmute your mic and then speak.
Hello.
Yes, please. Anchi.
Yes, I also selected none because this is my first time being.
Okay, first time. Good. Anybody else? Okay, so let's see. So it means that by and large, a few responses that indicated that they never had any interaction. This is their first time. And so first timers, you are most welcome. Let's talk a little about the above 10, those who were very, very active in terms of their interactions with others. Who wants to share, on that, so that we can learn from, especially for those first timers who have come in, to learn from you how you did. Segum, I'm sure Segum, you selected 10 and above. Guessing from my end here. Justa, are you there?
Yes, Alexis. And good evening, good afternoon. Yeah, I selected quite a number. Basically it could be over 10 because I've been joining the Community of Practice series talk, and therefore in doing that, I've been able to interact with a number of the people. as well as I've managed to attend a number of physical meetings since I joined this community of practice, and therefore I've really interacted with a number of the individuals belonging to the community of practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Justa. So for those joining us the first time, we've heard from Justa the couple of interactions that she has had. Yes, any other volunteer who wants to share? I see familiar faces like Segum from ECoP Secretariat. Abigail and Co, you want to share? I'm sure for you, you have interacted with almost everybody.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. So yes, I have interacted with quite a number of institutions, and I'm one of the community of practice, employability community of practice leads, and so we get to interact with a lot of institutions. I've led a few sessions as well, participated in meetings. I've had one-on-one engagements with a few of the institutions as well. So yes, I also applied for micro grants this year to attend a conference, and I did a session sometime this year to just share my learnings with a number of the institutions who were interested in learning about what's some of the nuggets that I received from the conference. Yes. So once again, I engage with a number of institutions in the community of practice. So yes.
Good. Thank you, Abigail. Good.
Thank you.
Let's see. What of those who indicated between 5 and 10? Is there anybody who wants to volunteer to share? And particularly, what motivates you to share to interact with as many people as you have done? Anybody?
I think maybe Dr. Naomi. She put in the chat, I think 5.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she can speak.
Naomi?
Yes, I can speak. What I was just saying about the 5 was overlapping, because there's 1 to 5 and 5 to 10.
Okay.
1 to 5, yeah. So anybody with the 5, so was he is 1 to 5 or is 5 to 10? That's what I said. I meant. But I've interacted. Yeah, I've interacted more than 5 times. I started joining, I think, last year. I have even attained a certificate from the trainings of this collaborative, and I find them very helpful because my area of expertise is education, and I find the topic being discussed, they are really contemporary to education today. And as a university where I belong, after our VC attended, we have formed teams, and we are working in groups on this employability, and another one working on the entrepreneurship. And they are really helpful and also bring that collaboration and teamwork to our faculty.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naomi. Because of time, let's go on to the second question. The second question says, have you applied for a micro grants in 2023? The yes, had 25%, and the no's were the majority. Let's begin with the no's. Why haven't we applied for, or what is the basis for indicating no, for not applying for the micro grant? Any to begin with? 2023. There was that opportunity for us to do that. Yes, Adam.
Yes, Alexis.
Yes, Adam. Go ahead.
Yes, we at Hotenga University, we haven't applied for the micro grants yet. Our engagement in the collaborative has been very fruitful throughout the year, especially opening our eyes to the employability and soft skills training for our students and graduates. We submitted a wholesale proposal to HEIs to look at, we were expecting an outcome from that proposal, which we haven't received any information yet. And so going into next year, we would be looking at how we could segment the wholesale proposal into bits, so that we can take advantage of the micro grants program. Yeah. But we would be very grateful if probably Abigail or any of the directors could give us a feedback on the proposal that we submitted earlier last year.
Okay, great. Yeah, so Adam, I'm sure Grace have taken note of this. Probably if Grace, at the tail end of your submission opportunities, you would want to highlight this. There are others who didn't pass through, others submitted and they never had feedback, or they had feedback you want to share with the team as well. Any other person? Gladys Mabonga. Gladys, are you on?
Yes.
Yes, Gladys, what is your take here?
From Management University of Africa, we applied for grants, I think, in 2 pillars, that is on entrepreneurship and career development and employability. And so we got feedback on on what we're supposed to do, especially being able to collaborate with other institutions or doing the same who are on the same course. Maybe if they're doing career development and employability, we need to link up with another institution with the same mind so that we're able to collaborate for us to be funded. Yeah.
Thank you, Grace. Francois, did you apply? Zongmori.
Yes, I think there's a comment in the chat before maybe Madam comes in. So maybe I can address that very quickly. Then we can hear from Madam Rita, and then we can go into our breakout. So the grants have been tied to, so Fred is asking, I think the grants have been tied to attendance of the past gatherings. So that's been his obstacle of not applying. Yes, that's true. So grants have been tied to engagement. So the number of meetings you attend, sharing articles, ideally being engaged in a community of practice. We put that there because sometimes our budget is limited. And in a case where we have 4 good proposals and we have to select one now to fund, not saying we are not going to fund the others, but maybe we'll push them to another year or another time when we have funding. But if we are selecting, let's say, one now, we might look at how engaged the member has been. So it shouldn't be an obstacle. It's just something we'd look at when the funding is very limited and we have to make a decision. So we are not tracking and saying, once we receive a grant, we review it throughout the year. We don't say, okay, I'm going to check if Fred has come for any meeting. We'd only do that or resort to that when we have to make that kind of limited decision, because it would be good if we are able to give opportunities to members who are engaged, since it's a community. So that's what I'll say. Don't let it be an obstacle. Please send in your proposal. We'll definitely review them. The other avenues of engagement I will share at the end of the meeting. And I'll go into a bit more detail. But we can have Madam Rita to share quickly, and then we go into our breakout rooms.
Go. Rita, over to you, very briefly.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sharing from Kumasi Technical University. We haven't had opportunity yet to put in a grant application. However, I have been able to attend a few sessions and then also implemented some of the information obtained in the area of career development and training of soft skill training program, where in a situation maybe you are limited as an institution, you could collaborate
with other institutions to be able to deliver to your students. So through that, we were able to collaborate with one organization to offer soft skill training program for our final year students, and we were able to reach out to 978 final year students having the opportunity to go through soft skill training program on CV development, attending interview in various areas of after school activities. And so that is all we've been able to do so far. And I know Grace is going to support us also to have the opportunity to access the grant and then put in our application too as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rita.
Okay.
So Grace,
I am back.
Oh.
Hello, Alexis.
Francis. Yes, Francis.
Yes, I have some trouble with my connectivity, my internet connection. Oh, it's right now. What is the reason why I have not applied for the micro grant? I am new in this network, and I have not had enough information about this. But now we discussed with our team, especially the career service, to see if it's possible to have a close contact with you and have sufficient information for applying for microgrants. Nice.
Thank you, Francis. So at the tail end of it, Grace will share more of these, and then we would get more information about that. So Grace, over to you. Let's get into the breakup rooms, and then just set the modalities in place, and then we can then break into the rooms.
Okay, thank you very much.
And thank you so much, Mr. Francois. I'll share it at the end, like he said. So we are going into breakout rooms, and one of the main focus of this meeting is to network and to get to learn about what members are working on or are doing. So we'll go into breakout rooms, and then you each answer 2 questions. So the first is sharing a brief about yourself, so your name, your institution, where it's based, and your role and what you do. And then the second question is, what exciting project are you currently working on? So I'm putting that in the chat so that when you go into the breakout rooms, you can answer these questions so that other members can get to learn about you, what you are doing. If there's an exciting project that they would like to jump on that you are working on, that would be great. So this is what we are going to do. We'll spend 20 minutes in the breakout room. And then come back for a brief discussion before we move into the highlight reports.
Students, they have also launched the Alumni Association because of the grants that they have won. They've also been able to launch an Alumni Association, and all this has enhanced their employability skills training of the students. I also share with our colleagues that at Otenka University, what we are currently working on, we are developing a manual for soft skills training in the university, which will cut across all the 3-year programs in the university. And so basically, the group 1, we had a very fruitful discussion. We also hope to hear what other colleagues have to say. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Adam. That I believe that we are learning and picking notes from across other members. The essence of this meeting at the end of the day is for us to be able to collaborate and probably do joint projects at the end of the day. Whoever is doing best things, good things that you feel like your university, you want to adapt, you can reach out, just like we are doing with Amstead at the moment. So please, let's have the second room leader. Thank you, Adam, once again. Second room, who is in the Bernard?
I'm not sure which room this is in Kiro.
In Kiro, okay, in Kiro, correct.
Okay, good. So we had colleagues from Kenya, Ghana, various universities, different universities, and it was a very interesting conversation because everybody shared what
they're doing currently, the projects they're working on. Some have innovation workshops, some have graduate programs, some people are making use of the grants that they got. Also mentorship program, and we discussed a bit how this mentorship program works. And we also discussed other services, other career services that are being given to the students. One interesting one was, how do you get students to make use of these services? Because sometimes you prepare beautiful meals for the students and they don't show up. So one of us shared how to have baits for them before they get certain things from the careers office. They must have attended some of the seminars. So some people have also preparing for their career fairs and internship programs. I want to believe it was a very interesting interaction amongst the people in my group. Thank you.
Thank you, Nkiru, for submitting this. Let's have the next one, the next room. Who is doing that?
Alexis, I think I can just give.
Yes, Patricia. Okay, good.
Highlights of what we discussed. It was a very engaging session. A lot of learnings. I don't think we had enough time. Probably we need to organize another one, just because of the amount of information we're getting about the different programs, the different projects that the team in group 2 were involved in. Something that really came across was a lot of soft skills training that was happening, just to integrate into all the different programs at the universities. There's also a lot of employer and faculty engagement in terms of career fairs and site visits, and also just having a very good system in terms of having students exposed to that working environment. And just before we closed, we had Etienne talking to us about a very interesting model that links scholarship to community service and also skills being gained. If you'll just allow Alexis, Etienne to maybe share that model, I think it might be beneficial to many members of the team, just for a few minutes.
Okay. Granted. Let's hear from.
Thank you, Patricia. Especially for our bachelor's degree in medicine, all students are on full scholarship. And before we admit students from any country, we sign an MOU with the Ministry of Health, because our university is based on funding we get from donors who want that people should not die because there are no medical doctors on the field. So before we admit students from any country, we are now collaborating with 9 countries. So we sign MOU with the Ministry of Health, indicating that when these students graduate, they are going to serve the Ministry of Health in the vulnerable communities for at least 5 years. And that's the condition for us to grant the scholarship to students. So we admit students from those countries. So, and the students also sign that we are going to give them everything they need to study, but they're going to serve those years. So it's a legal binding MOU, and it's a legal binding document with the students. So when they graduate, they must go and serve. After serving, they are allowed to go, because the partners in health that started the university believe that no life should die because there is no medical doctor. So that's why we tie that scholarship with the serving the community. Of course, when they are serving, they are fully paid. We don't deduct anything from their salary. They get all their salaries, but they are deployed to the vulnerable communities where other doctors are running away. They must serve in those communities. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Any scholarship tied to someone who grant this person a job is a secure way to help that student get a job, and also for us to get back what we wanted in our mission. Thank you.
And Tede, you may want to share your university website, on the chat, so that colleagues may want to pick it up and then also broadcast. Yeah. So on this note, Grace, I believe we are not doing so badly with time, but I believe that we all our coffees, our cups, is it empty now? maybe Grace and Co would have to help us to refill this because yes, you have to fly
Yes, our
around
cups are they are empty.
yes, and fill these cups. Okay. Anyway,
Thank you
so
so
we
much.
move on now to the next, which is to have a brief, overview highlights on the reports by Madam Patricia.
Okay.
Please, the name of the university.
I think, can you
That
share the
is,
university name? Yes, I think University of Global.
So I've asked him to send even the website to the chat for us.
All right, thank you.
So, okay, good. Okay, so Patricia, over to you.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes.
Because of time, we have just a few minutes, so I'll just quickly talk about the highlights from the report. I believe everyone had a copy of the report shared to them that I am now projecting. Please let me know if you're able to see it.
Yes, we are.
Yes, you are? Great. So this report was compiled by Grace. So thank you, Grace, for sharing this. It summarizes the activities and outcomes from August to October 2023. And we can see the membership of the Employability Community of Practice grew by 21%. So we had 4 new institutions from East Africa, 4 new from West Africa, and 1 from South Africa. So welcome. I have met some people from this institution, so please feel welcome to ECoP. We're here to learn and to help us really expand our offerings and our programs to be able to support our students. So please welcome. So there's been quite a bit of growth, 21%. And in terms of the activities and engagements, we've had 3 main engagements. We've had the quarterly meeting that was led by Abigail Wilbach. She had a very engaging session on diversity, equity, and inclusion. If I remember correctly, she talked about so many different ways that we can be able to have accessible career service programs for our students. And I think it's something that every university should strive to have, now that we have more diverse students joining our universities. So the recording is there on the report. So please do have at least when you get a chance to. And thank you, Abigail, for also sharing your the insights that you got from the conference. It has been really helpful. I, particularly at USIU, we've really been trying to incorporate diversity and inclusion in our program. So what you were sharing was really very helpful. I'm sure the other members will also find it very helpful. We also had articles and blogs, and members are free to share any kind of blogs and articles that they'd want to share. I'm sure Grace would be happy to coordinate that. In terms of the number of members who participated in the quarterly meeting, it was about 41%, which are 17. We had new non-registered members who also participated in the quarterly meeting. That also shows the kind of the kind of learnings that we're getting from these meetings, and of course there's a need for these meetings to continue happening. Yes. We had 2 members who also shared resources and opportunities within the community during the past quarter. And unfortunately, none of the members reported implementing some of the learnings from the community of practice in the institutions. Maybe this is an area we'd also need to also share, as you're also learning about how other universities are working on some programs. If you're implementing some of the things you're learning, please share with us. It's also very good for us to track and see the kind of impact that we are having. The number of members who collaborated on projects with other ECoP members, there were none that were reported. That again is also an area to probably work on in the new quarter. In terms of microgrants, only 1 institution applied for microgrants. I'm sure Grace will be talking a little bit about microgrants, how you can apply for them, the procedure, and what that would include in terms of the financial award for that. The main challenges there's been an increase in membership and active engagement, but this has not reflected in terms of applications for the microgrant applications, as well as opportunities that are being shared within the community. There have been very few collaborative projects that have been reported within amongst the ECoP members. So we need to collaborate more. So recommendations for this: after every meeting, there'll be a form that will be shared with members to update on how they have acted on the lessons they've learned. Grace will be sharing this after every meeting. And then institutions will receive monthly reminders to share resources, opportunities, and also apply for microgrants. So this is just a very, very quick overview of the report. I'm sure you'll get to engage with the report later on, but this is just what I just wanted to share. Maybe, Grace, you can talk about the microgrants.
Yes, so Grace, you'd like to talk about it now, or when you take your turn?
You can take reactions
yes.
the report, and then
okay.
I can come into. I'll start addressing some of the questions that we had before we went for the breakout rooms, and then if there are any other questions, I would address them as well.
Okay. So, colleagues, this is the report submitted by Patricia. Are there issues? Are there issues that we want to flag for some clarification, some discussions, or some emphasis? We can take a few from few comments, and then we can move on. Yes, anybody?
If there are none, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. And maybe just a comment. I'm not happy myself about the performance. We're doing not very well. I think we need to pull up our socks on most of the activities which we are doing really below the average. And it's a challenge to all of us, and we take it very positive, and I will do something about that. Now, I just heard about institutional membership to community of practice. At Management University of Africa, we are a member of Education Collaborative. Okay, well, sorry for being so ignorant. In this case, I didn't know that an institution, again, can now become a member of a community of practice. We have individuals from our institution, but we didn't have institution. And unfortunately, because we didn't know, we didn't even pursue. Maybe I would really want to hear about that. Thank you.
Yes.
So,
Thank you so much. So it's open to individuals actually, but the individuals are representing institutions. So we like to highlight that because the Education Collaborative works with institutions. So that's it. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. You just have to join and be a member as an individual.
Yeah, I was surprised when I didn't see Management University of Africa, and I'm a member. Thank you.
I think Management University of Africa has been very active as well. Yeah, but it's individual.
Good. Any other comments before we give the note to Grace?
Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen very quickly because the time is.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you. For some reason, the sensor wasn't working. So I'll start with the key thing. There was a question on engagement. So the ways we engage is attending these. So we have quarterly meetings within the year for Employability Community of Practice. So members are encouraged to engage in these meetings like you are doing now. We also have opportunity for members to share resources. So recently, Abigail shared a resource on a course, on an employability course that was shared by the IFC, and I share that with the community. So we encourage members to share opportunities in the group so that other members could have access. So that's another way to engage. You can also volunteer to facilitate sessions. So when we were looking for a facilitator for this session, I went to the membership forum and I looked for members who had indicated that they are open to facilitate sessions. So that's one way you can engage as well. You can also apply for opportunities. So I'd mentioned that sometimes we might not necessarily have, let's say we have a pool of funds and it's very small. If 20 people are applying for funding at the same time, we might not necessarily be able to support all of them. But we can support in diverse ways, not just funding. We can connect you to another institution. We can offer some kind of training. You never know. So that's why we want you to be applying for these opportunities, which I'll share more about shortly. And another thing you could do to engage is to share your learnings, do newsletters or other publications. So when we have these sessions and then you apply some of your learnings, you can share with us. For instance, we had a career growth passport from Botho University, and we reached out to them. They also reached out to us, and then they shared with the community. Last month, I had an interview with I reached out to University of Cape Coast, Accra Technical University, and Ashesi University to learn about their peer coaching strategy. And then we put it into a new nice article, and that was shared on the Education Collaborative website. So we encourage sharing, we encourage learning as much as possible. Because the team is also very lean, sometimes it can be overwhelming to follow up with every single institution or member, but I would love for members to also come with what they are doing, exciting projects that they are doing as well. So these are the ways that you can engage. So there was a question about tracking engagement, that microgrants had been tied to tracking engagement. So because our funding is limited, we put this out there to also encourage members to engage actively. It's a community, and when there's no engagement, it's no longer a community. So this is not to score participants points, but it's to encourage members to actively engage. So we are saying that for you to be an active member of this community, you should have attended. So we have category A, B, C, and then D. Category A is quarterly meetings. So you should have attended at least 2 quarterly meetings within the year. And for each of the quarterly meetings gives you 2 points. So if you attend 2, it's 4 points. But would love for you to attend all. But we are saying to be active, you can attend at least 2 or more. But we'd love all of you to attend. And then we have category B of engagement. So you can suggest topics, activities, ideas, recommend and introduce speakers. That's another form of engagement. You can also share resources. So funding opportunities, professional development, and we will forward it to all members. So they are put in we call them category B because they all have the same weight. So you can do one or the other or do both. And then we have category C, sharing resources and learnings that have been learned in your institution. So with Abigail's session, or you've read a peer coaching article and you started something in your institution just based on you reading that article, it will be exciting for us to know the impact that is being made in the community. And when you reach out to share this with us, we are very excited to hear about them and also share with the community. So that's another way to engage. Also apply for opportunities is another key area. Maybe you've applied for an opportunity, but you didn't get funding. It's still an area to engage because we want to see the more you're applying for the opportunities, it means that you are looking to implement your learnings. If you already have funding at your institution, that's great, but we'd also like to hear how you are implementing those. And then category D is we have contributing to newsletters and other publication materials or facilitating and leading a session. The minimum engagement point is 9. So that means that You should have attended 2 quarterly meetings, which is in category A, 1 activity in category B, and then 1 activity in category C. You can do all the activities, but we want to have some level of engagement. And again, this is not to score participants at all. We don't even look at this. We'd only go to this when we have some limited resources and we need to make a decision between 2 maybe very strong or active proposals. But we haven't used any of these yet. So to the question that was asked earlier, this is it. And I hope I didn't confuse you, but don't pay too much attention to the numbers. Yeah, it's not very important. And before I did shared, we currently have 55 members from 40 institutions and 5 active ongoing projects. To join the ECoP, most of you are already members. You fill out the form. We also send out a welcome pack. I realize that not many people are able to really thoroughly go through the welcome pack. The welcome pack has all the details that you need to know to be an active member. It even has the templates for sending in proposals. So it has the proposal templates for conferences, for projects. Everything is in there. It has the link to joining the WhatsApp group. For email groups, we add you, but it has all the links in there. And then you start engaging. You just start engage. I don't know what's happening with my cursor, but it's just, let me go this route rather. I wanted to talk a little bit about, okay. Can you see? Okay, now, okay. So micro grants, you can apply for up to $3,000 to test new innovations. You can also apply for these funding to attend conferences. So this year, the Education Collaborative is focused on thought leadership. If you are working on exciting projects funded by the Education Collaborative or not, and you want to attend a conference to share it, and also share with the ECoP, you can apply for the grants. You can also visit other campuses to learn about what's happening. Maybe there's a career fair happening at Pan-Atlantic University, which is exciting and you want to learn more. Maybe you are now starting a career fair. You want to just go there and learn more. This is an opportunity to apply for the grants. And the grants are all year round. So it's not, you don't have to wait till March, or if you have a proposal now, you can just send it in and then we review. I know that sometimes it takes a long time, again, because the team is a very lean team and there's just a lot to do, and we are trying as much as possible to be timely with our feedback. But I also appreciate your patience to this process. And to answer Adam your question, so I'll be reaching out to you Friday to give you feedback. But again, I like that you are exploring applying for microgrant, breaking down your project proposal and applying for microgrant. I think Ho Technical University is doing great work, and we look forward to you applying for a microgrant. So those are the key things I wanted to share. If there are any other questions, I'm happy to answer them.
No, good. Thank you, Grace. So back to all of us. Any question? There's some clarification we want from what Grace have submitted to us. Let's take a few. Yes, Roland Ado, your hand is up.
Alexis, I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, Roland, we can.
Okay, so I wanted to ask Grace the relationship between the Education Collaborative and then non-profits or private-owned startups that are into education or mentorship. I didn't hear you talk about that, so could you just shed some light on that?
There you go. Can you talk about your question again?
Roland, yeah.
Yeah, I was asking, what's the relationship between the Education Collaborative and private startups that focus on mentorship and education, or nonprofits? Do you consider applications from them as well? Do you want to work with them?
Yes. That's a good question. So the Education Collaborative is an so the first thing is it's more focused on higher education institutions. Higher education institutions do not stand alone. We work with private companies, we work with NGOs. For instance, career development, you work with a lot of employers, and we value your contributions in this group. So it's not just open to the institutions, but then again, whatever you are doing should have an impact in a higher education institution. So if you are, let's say, a private organization applying for grants, it should make an impact in a higher education institution within the network. I don't know if that helps. Okay, great. I see that we are way behind time. I don't know. There are also questions in the chat. So I would share. So one of the things that we do is after this meeting, all members.
Yes, so Grace, go ahead.
Yes, I was saying after this meeting, all participants who are not members, we will send you an email with the link to join the ECoP. So that will be shared with you. I see a couple of people asking. And once you join, you will receive the welcome pack. If you are already a member and you haven't received the welcome pack, you've been added to a group, an email group. You can check again, but you can also reach out to me and then I will share that with you. Yeah.
All right. Rita, your hand is up.
I just want to find out how we can get the application pack for the macro grant.
It's in the welcome pack. So that means you have access to it. The template, everything is in the welcome pack. So if you need me to share it again, I'm happy to. But all the information is on the welcome pack. Alexis, I think we have to take the photo now before we lose
before we lose some. Exactly. Okay. So is the photographer ready?
Nessie,
so let's all get.
Yes, I'm ready.
Our cameras.
Okay.
Wherever you are.
Oh, chess.
Yeah, so let's see. Grace, who is taking the chairs and the photo?
I am taking the chairs.
All right, so give us the order.
All right, so get ready, put on your videos, get your coffee ready.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't have access to coffee.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes.
Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2.
Yes.
And then I envy your cup.
Yes. I'm economizing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so to wrap up now, Abigail, you have something to say? I can see you smiling. Briefly? No, okay, good. So on this note, I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody. We were seeking to create a platform for us to connect and deepen our friendship and relationship as a community. I believe we have made some progress. In terms of information regarding ECoP, we have also gotten some information. And I believe that at the end of the day, the opportunities that are there, we'll take advantage of it, particularly where we can have joint projects, collaborating to implement joint projects and learnings, being shared. So on that note, I want to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to lead this session, and to thank colleagues for the cooperation that you have all given, and staying on until the end of this session. I say Merry Xmas to everybody, and may God bless us.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.